Take a bunch of bananas or a bunch of grapes. All bananas look alike and taste alike. Similarly, all the grapes look alike and taste alike. Why? All the bananas have the genetic information to be a banana. Also, all the grapes have the genetic information to be a grape. Now, look at your closest friend. His eyes do not look like ears, nor does his lips look like his toes. They all have the same genetic information. Why? They all have the same genetic information because they are coming from the same one cell zygote. Most of us have bank accounts. Still, we carry a little cash in our pocket, and it is that cash we use to buy a can of Coke or a candy. We use the cash to buy a candy does not mean the money in the bank is not yours. It is still ours. Just like that, in a cell, only a small percentage, about 20%, is used at any time. The rest of the genes are kept in a bank, and that does not mean those cells don't have those genes. Those genes which are not used, almost 80%, are still the property of the cell. Till about half a century ago, it was believed that cells like that of a skin or a muscle or heart are at the end of their development. Then what happened? About 50 years ago, a guy from UK with the name John Gordon took egg of a frog and removed its nucleus, and he replaced it with the nucleus from the intestines of a tadpole. Then this modified egg grew to a tadpole with its eyes and head and fins, everything, not just a bunch of intestines. Possibly you all heard about Dolly the sheep, where a sheep egg is taken, nucleus removed, and replaced by the nucleus of a cell from the udder of the sheep. That grew up to be a perfect dolly, perfect sheep. This again verifies, just because all the properties of the genes are not expressed, they are not lost, they are all still kept in the bank in the chromosomes. Now we are going a little deeper into science. Don't be scared. Science is our friend. We are not afraid of our friends. We talked about genes. We get our traits from our genes. Like my curly hair or pointed nose, they are all in my genes. But what is gene? What does it mean? Have you heard about DNA? Maybe little unfamiliar, strange name. But again, remember, we are brave. We are not afraid of our friends. Now, I am going to tell you what DNA is. If you are concerned that you may be scared, just close your ears and close your eyes. It will be only once. I will not repeat again. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. That is it. The whole collections of Shakespeare and whole mythologies which you love and the whole Encyclopedia Britannica, they are all written with just 26 letters. Can you believe it? But you know it is true. Same way, A cell, human cell, has approximately 3 billion letters, and those letters are in pairs, and that is how our whole gene language is written, and there are only 4 letters for that. How can you make so much information with just 4 letters? I will give an example with 3 letters. Like R-A-T, rat. You know what it is? Same letters, change the position. It becomes tar, different meaning. Or we can change again, art. That is another meaning. That way, with the length of the word and the order of the letters, the meaning changes. That is how the 4 letters of a DNA, which are the names of the bases, those 4 letters, we make the whole information in our gene. This whole information in the big book of DNA with the 3 billion base pairs, that is called the genome, the whole genetic information. Now, the 20% of them that makes me curly haired or pointed nose see, those information, that is not called genetics. That is determined by processing or selection of the whole genome and how it is handled to make a flower red or a grass green. Those information is called epigenetics. Epigenetics represents what is expressed in a cell, like whether it is a liver cell or a kidney cell or a skin cell. Genetics means the whole information in the whole genome. When you were a child, your dad used to read Aesop fables for you. He didn't start from the cover to the other cover. They will select the stories to be read each night. That is the way. Epigenetics is the selected story for that night. The whole Aesop fable book is the genetics. Does it become clear to you? Just like a child can either cry or scream or smile, still it is the same child. Different manifestations of the same child. So different epigenetics of the same genome. We will continue about stem cells in the next video.